Hello everyone, on this video I want to talk a little bit about the new ones that we got on tier 3 and compare it with what we had for the DPS bombing, right? So before I take into any conclusions if on tier 3 Curse Bomb is going to be viable, if it's going to be stronger than it was on tier 2, and if it's going to keep up like decent on the end of tier 3, we're going to need to analyze way more things with the orb and new passives, new skill masteries, with the synergies, how the game overall gets to be played with more evasion, less shield, less heal, less heal over time. You know, a lot of things are going to change before being able to decide if the bomb curse bomb is going to be viable. But what we can do now is analyze the ones that we got for tier 3. So we got 3 ones for tier 3. We got the supreme one of the resistance, which has no passive, is basically the default one, so we just can ignore this one. It does have weaken chance on the status and on the trait, so that's pretty nice, but it's not gonna be a viable one for curse bombing. We have the excavator, which is the new healing one, but again, we don't care too much about the healing, even though it's a decent one, we can move on from this. And we have the new one, which is a Silver Reaper Codex. If I'm not mistaken, this one you can get from the solo dungeons, and it's quite easy to get. I think you can even get from dungeon. So it should be pretty affordable, which is awesome. And it's a really good one, but it needs some details that we don't have yet the information to be able to fully explore it. So what does the Silver Reaper Codex do? From what we know so far, every time you cast Decaying Touch, it's gonna have 80% chance of proccing this curse, so it's just another curse on top of a curse, again, just like E.Tevent. And this curse, what it does is it removes for 2 seconds 99.99% of the enemy healing, so it basically entirely cuts the enemy healing. And on top of that, every heal that the target gets takes damage by 200%. Not sure if it's gonna be based on the heal or your base damage, but if you curse that person, he not only cannot be healed, but if he gets healed, he loses. He takes damage. That's the concept behind this one. I don't think we have seen yet anyone drop and use it properly, so it's kind of hard to judge. But from the information that we got from translations and people confirming things in the game, looks like that's how it works. And that's the catch here. If this one procs, the curse of this one is considered a one curse, just like E.Tevent, and is included in the masteries, just like E.Tevent, that means the curse can be extended by 3 seconds from your passive, 4 seconds total from your masteries, 4.3 to 5.5%, if I'm not mistaken, seconds. That means you can increase that curse quite a bit because the buff duration at max is going to reduce 1 second from it, so it's going to have usually a flat amount of 4 to 5 seconds. And that's quite a bit. 4 to 5 seconds without healing is a lot. And 4 to 5 seconds taking damage when you receive heals is a lot. And that's on the version that you can spread with Karmic, if you can spread that, which I imagine you can. With Karmic, everyone's gonna be with the debuff duration of 4 to 5 seconds with this debuff, which is mega strong. And with Witching Hour, you can keep basically 100% uptime of it, because it has a 10 seconds cooldown, but with Witching Hour going from 5 seconds to 9 seconds is almost 100% uptime, which is a death sentence in single target PvP. So this one, if it works, the curse of this one works with your masteries, your skills, your passives from the one. This is for sure the best in slot when it comes to effective PvP deny / kill / damage. But it's not a bomb. It's not a one bomb passive. That's a very important thing. It does not increase your damage, your bomb damage, but it increases the odds of killing your enemy by a lot. So that's a very important thing. And another big important detail of this one is that it has 2 stat lines, dexterity and wisdom, and it gives actually more stats than the legendary one base stats, which is crazy. And on top of that, it has a trait of weaken chance. So the fact that it has weaken chance trait on the weapon is also huge. So right now the Silver Reaper is looking very promising. We need to confirm if it works with the Masters of the One passives and things. If it does and works with Karmic, then it's for sure as good as the Awakened Event, if not better for competitive PvP. But if it doesn't work, then it's not that good and it's probably even worse than a normal Tevin. So keep that in mind. This is gonna be a big factor. As soon as I get anyone that can confirm this, as soon as I can get to test this more in depth, I definitely will. But this is just so you can understand right now the position of this new one. Is the only relevant of the new ones that we got for the DPS part of the one. So right now, if I had to rank, it's normal Tevin, followed by Deckman, followed by Awakened Tevin, and then Awakened Tevin is in a similar note to the Silver Reaper if it works with the passes and Karmic. But the Tevin, Awakened Tevin is still gonna be the one if you wanna bomb and one-tap people, and the Silver Reaper is gonna be the one that if you wanna play in a team, competitive, more control scenario. So they both gonna have their niches. The biggest benefit of the Silver Reaper though is not being dependent on the legendary one. So if you wanna use Awakened Tevin, if you wanna use Deckman, whatever, you need to put those on the legendary one to keep your damage high. But with the Silver Reaper, you don't need the legendary one to be effective already with the one. So that's mostly about it. I think it's a really interesting thing that has been added to the game. We need to test more of it, but it's looking very promising actually. I was not that happy with the ones, but after understanding a bit more of how the Silver Reaper works and trying to analyze like beforehand how it could be affected by the other things, the reason why I think it's mega promising is because the one things only affect the one passives. The one mastering passive only affect one curses, but it does affect Tevent, which is a one curse by the weapon. So if it follows the same logic as the Tevent curse, the Silver Reaper curse, then the Silver Reaper curse is very promising, very, very promising. If it can be Karmic or Witch Tower and has the passive of increasing the duration, since it's a really low base, which is 2 seconds, the buff duration is not gonna matter at all on this, so it's a very big deal actually. But that's about it. Thank you for watching. See ya.